Ever wondered who should break the silence after 2 weeks of no contact? Let's dive into this intriguing question. The silent treatment, a classic maneuver in the world of relationships. It's a quiet battlefield where the weapons are words left unsaid and the armor is a mask of indifference. But what really happens when we give or receive the silent treatment? What's the impact of this quiet conflict on both parties involved? In truth, the silent treatment can be quite damaging. It creates a chasm of misunderstanding and resentment that widens with each passing day of silence. The one giving the silent treatment might feel empowered initially, using silence as a form of control or punishment. But over time, this silence can turn into a lonely fortress, isolating them from the warmth of connection and understanding. On the flip side, the one on the receiving end might feel confused, hurt, or even guilty. They might spend sleepless nights wondering what they did wrong or how they can fix things. This silent treatment can invoke feelings of rejection and can even chip away at their self-esteem. But here's something we all need to remember. Relationships thrive on communication. Whether it's sharing a funny story from your day, discussing your fears and dreams, or even arguing about who left the dishes in the sink, it's through these exchanges that we understand each other better. It's how we build trust, show empathy, and foster a sense of belonging. So when silence descends like a thick fog, obscuring the bridges of understanding and empathy, it can be quite detrimental to the relationship. It's like trying to navigate through a maze blindfolded. Without the guidance of communication, chances of bumping into walls of misunderstanding and hurt are quite high. So it's clear that silence isn't golden in relationships. But who should take the first step to break it? Well, that's a question we'll delve into in the next scene. Stay tuned. Before we identify who should reach out first, let's explore some factors that might influence this decision. Firstly, let's consider the reason for the silence. Was it a result of a heated argument or a simple misunderstanding, or perhaps it's due to a period of emotional or physical distance? Understanding the root cause of the silence can give you a clearer picture of who should take the initiative to break the ice. Next, we need to look at the dynamics of the relationship. In a balanced relationship, both parties should feel comfortable initiating contact after a period of silence. However, if one person typically takes on the role of peacemaker, this pattern may continue. On the other hand, if the silence is a symptom of a power struggle, it might be worth considering whether it's healthy to maintain this dynamic. Now, let's talk about personalities. We all know that some people are more comfortable with confrontation and communication than others. If you're someone who finds it easier to express your feelings and thoughts, it might be easier for you to take the first step. But remember, it's not just about who finds it easier. It's about who is willing to step out of their comfort zone for the sake of the relationship. Another factor to consider is the length of the silence. 2 weeks might seem like a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not. If the silence has been longer, it might be more difficult for either party to make the first move. Lastly, consider what you know about the other person's current circumstances. Are they going through a particularly stressful time at work? Are they dealing with personal issues? Sometimes reaching out to them could provide the support they need. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to this question. It's a dance, a negotiation, a balancing act. Considering these factors can help you decide who should make the first move, but what if you're still unsure? If you're in doubt about who should initiate contact, here are some practical steps to guide you. Firstly, let's focus on crafting a thoughtful message. It's not about sending a simple "hey" or "what's up." You need to convey that you've given thought to the silence and you genuinely want to reconnect. Your message should reflect your understanding of the situation and your willingness to make amends if necessary. An example could be, "I've been thinking about our recent lack of communication and I realize it's been a while. I hope we can talk about it." Next, choosing the right time to reach out is crucial. If you know their schedule, pick a time when they are likely to be relaxed and open to conversation. Avoid reaching out late at night or first thing in the morning when they may be tired or busy. A weekend afternoon or an evening during the week could be an optimal time. Also, it's important to be prepared for all possible responses. They might be happy to hear from you, or they might still need some time. They could also be upset or indifferent. Remember, their response is not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of their feelings at that moment. Finally, approach the situation with empathy and understanding. The silence could have been a result of a misunderstanding, or they might have been going through a tough time. Don't assume the worst. Instead, be open to hearing their side of the story and be prepared to share your feelings as well. These steps are not foolproof, but they provide a framework to guide you through the process of initiating contact after a period of silence. It's essential to remember that every relationship is unique, and what works for one might not work for another. Remember, initiating contact after silence is all about opening the door to communication, not about winning or losing. As we wrap up, let's summarize the key points we've discussed today. We've emphasized the critical role of communication in relationships. Silence can be deafening, and 2 weeks of it can feel like an eternity. But remember, it's not a game of waiting to see who will break the silence first. We've also delved into the factors that influence who should initiate contact. These include the reason for the silence, the dynamics of the relationship, and personal comfort levels. It's not a one-size-fits-all answer, and it's crucial to consider these factors carefully. Lastly, we discussed practical steps to break the silence. Whether it's a simple text, a heartfelt letter, or a face-to-face conversation, the key is to approach the situation with honesty, openness, and understanding. In the end, remember this: it's not about who breaks the silence, but how you communicate once the silence is broken. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep the lines of communication open, and thank you for watching.